Supporting members with illness, page 41. Quote, love can be the flow of life energy from one person to another. By caring, sharing, and praying for others, we become a part of them. Through empathy, we allow addicts to become a part of us. Close quote, basic text. In recovery, we develop intimate and meaningful relationships. When we are close to someone with an illness, whether they are a friend, a partner, or a sponsor, we may find ourselves facing intense feelings. We may feel anger, helplessness, fear, guilt, and sadness. All of these are to be expected when someone we care about is ill. The first reaction to news of an illness or trauma may be to get caught up in our self-centeredness and other character defects. We remember that we have the ability to put spiritual principles into action today. We make the choice to be a positive force in the lives of the people around us. The process of working the steps has given us the ability to love and accept who we are and become able to truly love others. Taking care of ourselves and being committed to our own recovery allows us to be an ongoing source of strength for those close to us. We remember that our loved ones need our support, not our pity. We strive to set aside the self-obsession of our disease and offer care and concern to our loved ones during difficult times. Page 42, quote, in the last months I felt that I was never doing enough, that I wasn't repaying my friend for what he had given me. The guilt was tormenting me. I believed that I wasn't a good friend at all, but I shared about it with friends and at meetings, and by being open to the message of recovery, I realized that I was doing the best I could and that my effort was good enough, close quote. Being a source of strength and support for a fellow addict is an honor. We can express love in a number of ways. And any friend, sponsor, or sponsee may ask us to accompany them to the doctor or ask for our help in being accountable while they are taking medication. This is not an invitation to interfere with the medical treatment or personal wishes of our loved ones. We greet these requests for support humbly and gratefully, knowing that it takes courage to reach out for help. Making the effort to pick someone up for a meeting or visiting them while they are convalescing are acts of kindness that our fellow members will appreciate. They may ask us to prepare meals or assist them in other daily activities that they are unable to accomplish on their own. They may also ask for our help in more serious matters like seeking advice from legal or financial professionals. We take care to focus on carrying the message, not carrying the addict, page 43. We remember that there are many times when something as simple as a phone call can make a big difference to an addict who feels isolated by illness. We gratefully accept these opportunities to be of service to our fellow members. Summary point. The process of working the steps has given us the ability to love and accept who we are and become able to truly love others. Quote, a man I sponsor with almost 10 years clean time in NA telephoned me with some bad news. Doctors had said he had an incurable disease that would kill him within 60 days. He lived for 2 years, however, and continued to work a program of recovery. His courage inspired all of us, and he will be missed. His example in living the NA principles will always be remembered. Close quote. Like birth, death is a natural part of the life cycle. When we face the loss of a loved one in recovery, we strive to remember this simple fact. Applying the spiritual principles we learn in the steps helps us face reality. Even with time in the program, our first tendency may be to run from painful situations. Facing our fear and reaching out in spite of it demonstrates our faith in action. Our friends need our unconditional love and support now more than ever. We do what we can to assist them in facing the end of their lives with dignity and grace. When we encourage them to reach out and share with us honestly, we may find that there are details about their medical care that they would prefer to remain confidential. We honor their requests, and in doing so, we honor them. We counter our own self-centeredness by focusing on life and on the miracle of recovery that brought us all together. Page 44. When people we love in NA are facing an illness or injury, the outpouring of love they experience from the fellowship can be overwhelming. This is a testament to the kind of bonds we form in recovery. However, it is important to remember that some addicts' families may not understand our close relationships to their loved ones. They may feel that their privacy is being invaded if groups of unfamiliar people descend on their home or their loved one's hospital room. We remember to extend them the same respect and empathy we give to each other. Our experience has shown that the atmosphere of recovery we cherish in our meetings can translate to these situations as well. Anonymity is also important to remember. In some cases, there may be family members or other associates who are unaware of their loved one's recovery in NA. We can be examples of the spiritual principles of anonymity, integrity, and prudence no matter where we are. In doing this, we display gratitude for our loved one, our life, and our recovery. Summary point number 1. We remember that our loved ones need our support, not our pity. Summary point number 2. We can express love in a number of ways when our loved ones are facing an illness. We can call our friend on the phone, pick them up for a meeting, visit them, prepare meals, or assist them in other daily activities that they are unable to accomplish on their own. Summary point number 3. Dying is a natural part of life. When we apply the spiritual principles we learn in the steps, we are able to face reality and be there to support those we love. Section entitled Conclusion, page 45. Coming to accept an illness is a process like recovery. In the beginning, we may experience many familiar feelings like denial, anger, rationalization, self-deception, and grief. It may be helpful to remind ourselves that these feelings are a reaction to a painful situation. When we apply the spiritual principles we have learned in NA, we can reach a place where surrender and acceptance replace anger and denial. Reaching out can help us break through isolation and self-pity. Acceptance of something doesn't necessarily mean that we like it. We can dislike something and still accept it. We have a choice today. Like anything else in our recovery, we can make a decision to view our experience with illness or injury not as a crisis, but as an opportunity for spiritual growth. With the help of NA, we strive to surrender to our medical situation and accept the reality of the treatment. We ask for the guidance of our sponsor and our higher power when making decisions. We can decide to employ spiritual principles like humility and faith when we reach out for help to our friends in the fellowship. Experience has shown us that maintaining our recovery during times of illness or injury can be done by striving to consistently practice a spiritual program. We become a living resource for addicts who will face similar situations in the future. We have found that by following the suggestions offered by the NA program, we can successfully live with an illness or injury while maintaining our recovery. Building a strong foundation in recovery prepares us to accept life on life's terms. Working the steps is a process that teaches us solutions that we can apply to the realities of life and death. We develop the ability to survive our emotions by applying spiritual principles each day. Reaching out for help is an integral piece of our program and especially important when walking through difficult times. Recovery meetings can provide the support of others who know us well. Our experience may become a valuable tool for another addict who faces a similar situation, and sharing our experience with others strengthens our recovery. The principles of NA help us face anything just for today. Page 47, section entitled Suggestions to Follow with Illness and Injury. Some of our members have found the following list of practical tips and suggestions helpful. 1. Go to as many NA meetings as possible and read NA literature. 2. Communicate honestly with your sponsor to avoid self-will and get suggestions from someone who has your best interests at heart. 3. Reach out to other NA members. Ask for support. 4. Practice the 12 steps and 12 traditions. 5. Prayer, meditation, and sharing can help us get outside ourselves to focus on something beyond our own discomfort. 6. Share your thoughts and feelings honestly and openly with your sponsor and NA friends. They can help us find acceptance. 7. Identifying yourself as a recovering addict to healthcare professionals may be helpful. 8. Talk to your healthcare provider and sponsor before taking prescription or non-prescription medication. 9. Arrange for an NA member support when facing surgery or other medical treatment involving medication. 10. Inventory your medical condition and explore alternatives to medication. Write about your feelings and motives. 11. When supporting a member living with illness, remember that they need our unconditional love, not our pity or judgment. And 12. Continue on your path of recovery in Narcotics Anonymous by applying spiritual principles. Section entitled Additional NA Material You May Wish to Read. Recovery and Relapse, IP number 6, excerpted from the White Booklet. This pamphlet discusses the early warning signs of relapse as well as actions that addicts can take to avoid a relapse. This is on page 48. Just for today, IP number 8, 5 positive thoughts to help recovering addicts are presented in this pamphlet. Ideal for reading on a daily basis, these thoughts provide addicts with the perspective of clean living to face each new day. The remainder of the pamphlet develops the principle of living just for today, encouraging addicts to trust in a higher power and work the NA program on a daily basis. Sponsorship, IP number 11. Sponsorship is a vital tool for recovery. This introductory pamphlet helps provide an understanding of sponsorship, especially for new members. The pamphlet addresses some questions, including what is a sponsor and how do you get a sponsor? Sponsorship, a book containing many NA members' firsthand experience with sponsorship. This book includes a section in Chapter 4 that highlights how a sponsor can be a valuable source of guidance and support when facing an illness and recovery. Self-acceptance, IP 19. The first half of this pamphlet, The Problem, discusses aspects of an unmanageable life, including not accepting ourselves or others. The second half of the pamphlet, The 12 Steps Are the Solution, outlines the process that allows recovering addicts to apply the 12 steps in every area of their lives in order to gain acceptance of themselves and others. More will be revealed. Basic Text, Chapter 10. This chapter contains a variety of recovery-related topics. Among them is a discussion of the use of medication in recovery and NA groups and medication. The service pamphlet is a resource intended to help groups maintain unity as they navigate issues which may arise with members who are taking prescription medication. End of In Times of Illness,